How's it going, everybody, and welcome back finally to a new episode in the Manchester City career mode here on FIFA 19. I know it's taken a bit of time to get these episodes out, so I do apologise for the delay. So many of you are commenting asking where this series is, and hopefully this episode will be worth the wait, because we are going in to the January transfer window today, which is very exciting, and actually part of the reason why I didn't bring a new episode out straight away, because I wanted to leave it a few days, see the comments, see what players you were recommending to sign, to try and help your thoughts go into the career mode. I've said before I want it to be a bit of a joint effort, so that's part of the reason that it's been a bit delayed, and also just the fact that I've been really busy doing other Man City content and working, so apologies for the delay. But if you do enjoy this episode, make sure to leave a big thumbs up, make sure to comment on the video with your thoughts on the transfers that we're going to be going through today, and the general the episode in general, sorry. And yeah, subscribe if you do. But without any further ado, we're actually going to get straight stuck into this game against Southampton first, and then we're going to discuss transfers as we enter January. Here we are then, guys, as I say, getting straight into the action in today's episode. Away against Southampton at St Mary's Stadium for the first game of the episode. We've actually been forced into a few changes for this lineup, because there's that time of the year, that time of the season, you know, going from Christmas into the New Year period, the fixtures come thick and fast, and there's a few players that were pretty low on stamina that we've had to drop out. You'll see the lineup popping up in just a second, but a quick reminder, we are still the top scoring team in the division, and by some margin as well, sitting top of the table, level on points with Spurs at the halfway point of the season, so a lot to play for. And we really can't afford to be dropping points in games like this where we should be winning. But a bit of a rotated team, but hopefully he can get the job done. Let's take a look at the lineups and get stuck into the game. So first we've got Southampton, we've got McCarthy in between the sticks. Back four of Jansk, Hurt, Vestergaard and Bertrand. Making up the midfield, they have got Ward-Prowse, Van Ginkel, Højbjerg and Redmond. And then up top going with two in Danny Ings and Mina. It's worth mentioning now that this is the halfway point, so everything that we're now playing we have already played before. I can't remember how we got against Southampton when we played them at home, but certainly a game that we did expect to win. So here's our lineup. Like I said, there's going to be a few changes in here. We've got Edison in between the sticks, Walker, Stones, Laporte and Mendy making up the defence, which is kind of the only area that's not been changed. Midfield three of Phil Foden, Fernandinho and Bernardo Silva, and a front three of Brahim Diaz, Jesus and Sane. Most of the changes in there have come about because of fitness. Like I said, Mahrez is low on fitness, Sterling's out injured, which is why Brahim Diaz is getting more game time. Been really impressive recently, of course, but Jesus, a chance for him as well, because Aguero has been in fine form, but again, just really low on the old stamina. There we are, the commentator just confirming that we did beat Southampton in our first meeting at the Etihad. Usually the home games are a bit easier, of course, away usually very tough in the Premier League. And Edison, as we're talking, forced into the first meaningful action of the game in between the six. A good save, Denty's near post. Need to be wary here, need to get rid of this. Mendy, big header. Fine Sane, we're just starting to find our feet a bit here. Bernardo Silva, Gabriel Jesus waiting for the run does come, it's a big chance. It's a good save from McCarthy. Foden stinging the palms of the keeper, and we're getting closer now, it's happening, we're finally waking up. Should be an easy pick up, it is. Bernardo Silva, finds Leroy Sane, can he get the shot away? It's a good save, rebound. It's not quite happening at the minute, but we are doing a lot better than how we started the first half. Diaz does well to control that. Look at Jesus' run. This is a massive moment in the game. Gabriel Jesus. Penalty. Yes, it had to be. Awful tackle from behind from the Southampton man. And finally, our plucky performance in the second half. I say plucky. We should be winning this game, man. We were so poor in the first half. We've come out there, we've dusted ourselves down, and we're really playing quite well at the moment. We need to make sure this goes in, though. We need to make sure. Jesus is going to go to the right. Yes! That's 1-1. We've got 20 minutes left. Pick up that ball, Gabriel. He doesn't want to pick up the ball. He's going to do his little celebration. He's going to do a bit of this. But we need to make sure that we win this game. It's taken so long to find the breakthrough. McCarthy has had a great game in between the sticks. We need to build upon this goal now and get all 3 points. Come on. Well tucked away, Gabriel. Looking at Southampton straight off the bat here, coming forward. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We score the penalty, and instantly Southampton get a goal. It's Danny Ings at the double, and that just very much irritates me, to be honest. It's an absolute mess up. They play some nice football here. We get a good footing. It just comes back to him. It's poor from me. I should clear it. Not good enough. Oh, what a freaking disappointing start to the episode, guys. I'm so frustrated because We didn't start well enough in that game, and we deserved to be down at half-time, but we made so many chances in the second half. I can't believe we didn't score in open play. And as soon as we got back into the game with the penalty, Southampton scored that goal that was just stupid defending from myself again. You can see they've had 2 shots on target, scored them both. We've not had many defeats this season, and I feel that's like a bit rusty for myself coming back into this career mode after not playing it for about a week. So, kind of blame myself a little bit, but we really should have won that game. What a poor result and start to the episode that is. So that's a really disappointing result. We're now going to take a look at a couple of the transfer options. I've narrowed this down a lot. You would not believe how many suggestions I've been filtering through. This list was probably like 30 to 40 players long at one point, and we've narrowed it down quite a lot. So if you can't see your suggestion here, it's not that I haven't seen it. I have looked at everyone that people have recommended, and there was just so many different recommendations. It's one of those where I'm not going to be able to keep everyone happy, I'm sure. But I think I've identified where I think our main targets are going to be. So, first one, centre-back. Vincent Kompany looks like he's going to be on the way out, which is really disappointing. We've discussed all this and how I don't want to let him go, but it looks like it's going to happen anyway. And I think Matthijs de Ligt is going to be the man to replace him. Only 19 years old, huge potential. Not only that, it also just happens that we signed Frenkie de Jong as well, so it's got a nice Dutch link in there with de Jong already being at the club. So de Ligt is going to be our main priority target at centre-back, assuming that Kompany leaves. In terms of goalkeeper, very torn between Lafont and Jack Butland. There was a lot of suggestions for both of these, and I'm still not fully decided. I mean, Butland's the better goalkeeper, but Lafont's a lot younger. I think I'm leaning towards Lafont purely because by the time that, in theory, Edison's currently 25. By the time he's 30, Lafont will be like 24, 25, and he'll be a really decent rated goalkeeper. So I think he's probably a bit too good to be a backup, but I think we're going to go for it anyway over Jack Butland. He's going to be my priority target as a goalkeeper to replace Bravo. And then right back and striker, we're looking at Wan-Bissaka and Babi, who a lot of people suggested as well. And then I'm thinking of going for either Cutrone or Simeone. But we're going to leave it all for now because we're not desperate for a goalkeeper because we've still got Bravo. We're going to look at this after we played the Liverpool game. Right back, we've still got Danilo, who is on the transfer list. So when Danilo goes, it's when we're going for another right back. And as far as the centre-back option goes, again, that's very much dependent on the Kompany situation. Striker's the one that we could do more urgently with. And we're still waiting on scout reports back on Simeone and Cutrone. But these are two players that a lot of you suggested. So I'm hoping the scout reports are going to come back positive. Here we go then, guys. We need to brush ourselves down after the disappointment of that Southampton game, because we're now hosting Liverpool in the Premier League. What is sure to be a very tough encounter. We actually had a very good but disappointing result against these earlier in the season because we drew at Anfield, but we were in a position where we were 2-0 up and threw it away, and Liverpool came back into the game, which was very disappointing. The one thing I will say going into this is that our lineup is a lot stronger than it was in the Southampton game. You've got De Bruyne coming back in to start, David Silva coming back in to start, Mahrez coming back in to start, Aguero as well. So we are looking stronger, but as you can see, we've now dropped into second place and we're currently 4 points behind Spurs. A chance to close the gap to 1 with a win in this game. Let's hope that we can make that happen, guys, because as we all know, there's a big rivalry in recent times between City and Liverpool, and we want to get a 1-up here. So as I've mentioned, there's a few players coming back into the fold for us, but we are going with the exact same defence as we did in the Southampton game. It's the midfield and attack where players are returning. You can see De Bruyne, Toussaint and Silva. Big game for Toussaint. Fernandinho was a bit tired, so we've gone with him, and this is probably the biggest game he's played in since we brought him in. Front three, Mahrez, Aguero and Sane, but strong team. Like I said, we need to bounce back. Liverpool going with Alisson in between the sticks. Klein, Lovren, Matip and Felipe Luis making their defence, so no Van Dijk, which can only be seen as a positive. Midfield three, Fabinho, Naby Keita and Ilya Mendy, and a front three of Firmino, Salah and Sadio Mane. We were really good against these at Anfield until the last 20 where they got back into it. Let's hope we can do the same again. Liverpool fizzing it around very quickly to begin with here. Nathaniel Klein getting the nod ahead of Alexander-Arnold, which is a bit of an interesting one. But the freed Salah down the line here, who's going to cut inside, something that we don't want to let him do. Mendy actually thought he did quite well, but not well enough apparently. And Edison forced into the first save of the game from Roberto Firmino. Well played, Edison. Can we get a swift breakaway now? Mahrez. Aguero. Going to look for the return to Mahrez, who's made a great run. And look at David Silva busting. He got into the middle of the park. It's a good ball. It's back stick. It's Sane. It's 1-0. We weren't aiming for Sane there at all. I mentioned David Silva had made the bursting run into the middle of the box, but it ends up going to Leroy Sane at the back stick, and he slams it in past Alisson, who stood absolutely no chance. Lovely ball from Mahrez though. Look at that, straight across the face of the goal. Klein can't get across, and Alisson doesn't even bother diving. It's 1-0 City. Please let us not throw away this game. Please let's not throw it away. And that's well played out again. Toussaint is having a solid game so far. De Bruyne, can we find Mahrez? That's a great ball as well. Exploiting Liverpool out wide at the moment. Drops back inside. Can we find Kevin? We can. De Bruyne. And again. Oh, it just doesn't quite sit, does it? Much better from us though. Much better. Oh my word, all of a sudden that was all City, and that is where it leaves us a bit exposed. Mo Salah coming forward. We're watching him well in the centre of the park, but it's a good save. Oh, that could have gone anywhere. Well played, well recovered. Toussaint bringing it forward again. This is end-to-end football right now. Leroy Sané's got the pace over anyone, surely. Look at that, just burns past the defender. Looking at the back stick. Mahrez is in there. Oh, he doesn't quite get it. Going out to John Stones. He's going to go for one. Optimistically. Oh, flipping it. The second effort was much better though. And Alisson again forced into the save. Both keepers, Edison and Alisson, have put some good saves in so far. Go on. Oh, no. That second goal just won't come. Get rid of that. Well in. Good defending. Sané knocks it wide to Mendy. Aguero's the obvious option here. That's where we've gone. We're held up by Sergio. Toussaint. De Bruyne. Aguero. Some good football. Ends up going out wide to Leroy Sané. Where can we go from here? Need someone to drop off. Need someone to drop off. We've got the drop off. Oh, it's blocked. Kevin De Bruyne brings it away. I think everyone was expecting the pass there, so that was really close. And then he's still going, De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne's still going. De Bruyne still going. Flipping it, travelled a long way there, and we've still got possession. It's Frankie de Jong. Oh, he's not scored for us yet. Wasn't the best effort, but it could have deflected that one. Frankie de Jong plays it outward to Riyad Mahrez, who's been sensational today. There's no real need to risk too much here. Mahrez does it anyway. He's going all the way. Oh, no. That's got to be game time, though. That is the final whistle. It's a 1-0 win. We've not had many of those this season, I don't think. At home to Liverpool, a massive, massive result, especially when you consider the fact that we lost our last game to Southampton. What a way to bounce back against a win against a big rival, obviously, and taking all 3 points to the bank. And just 1 point behind Spurs again now. Big, big win, that one. Here we go then, guys. The first bit of real action of the January transfer window, and it's an £11 million offer from Spurs for Danilo, someone that we're trying to offload, of course. I actually am a bit puzzled by the fact that Spurs have gone in for him. I think realistically, unless something's changed in his career mode, they've got Aurier and Trippier, two very strong right backs. But 11 million, we're going to see if we can get a little bit more, and that will probably open up a move then for either Wan-Bissaka or the other guy, which I forgot the name of already, Mbabu, I think it is. So value-wise, is 10 million. They've offered 11 million. His transfer list, it's not the worst offer in the world, to be completely honest with you. I think we could get another 1 million out there. If we can get 12 million for Danilo, bang on the money, I'll be very happy with that, and that would go some way to funding either Wan-Bissaka or Mbabu. So pretty happy with that. And there we go. Not willing to let him go so easily. 12 million, done deal with Pochettino. That means then, guys, the question is Mbabu or Wan-Bissaka. Let's have a look at this in a bit more detail. So the nice thing is here, we can actually compare both of these, Mbabu and Wan-Bissaka, because we've skated them both out, and they're actually not too dissimilar of players. I think Bissaka's 2 years younger at 21 years old. Both of them are 6 foot tall, which is, you know, fantastic. Really, really tall fullbacks. Both should be physically strong, that'd mean as well. Work rates wise, you're looking at high medium for Mbabu and high medium for Wan-Bissaka. Technical ability wise, neither of them are fantastic. But when it comes to athleticism, that's where they're both shine. You can see 73 for Wan-Bissaka. That's one of his standout areas, if not the standout area. In fact, now he's a bit better at defending. And Mbabu, again, 81 in athleticism. And he's defending 71. Interesting that Mbabu's defending is significantly worse than Wan-Bissaka, who's younger than him. But let's have a look at some in-depth stats. So it's not quite as strong as I would have expected, actually, Wan-Bissaka. But he has got decent acceleration and sprint speed in 85 and 83. Certainly could be worked upon. His stamina only being 72 is not amazing either. He's certainly a rough diamond, but the fact that he's English also pulls on me a little bit and says maybe this is someone that we could really work with. 21, you know, he's not a complete youngster. You'd expect him to be pushing into that gold rating in the next year or two. So hopefully if we were to go for him, he would be a very able deputy in the future for Kyle Walker. I think when you look at him, Babu, look, he's certainly much more of a finished product at the moment. 77 rated, he's got 80 strength, 91 acceleration, and 93 sprint speed as well. Looks like an absolute tank, to be completely honest with you. And I think when you look at the fact that Kyle Walker's probably 27, 28, I think he is now. 3 years' time, he's going to be 31, probably a bit over the hill then in terms of ability and perhaps winding down a little bit. Whereas Kevin and Babu, 23, at that point he'll be 26. He'll probably be looking in the low 80s. So I think when you look at it, a perfect solution for someone to rotate with Kyle Walker and fill in his boots when he does move on or when he does start declining. And Babu certainly looks like the better fit, so I think that is who we're going to go for. Here we go then, trying to strike a deal with young boys for Mbabu. Value-wise, he's valued at 9 million, and it's interesting because we've only just sold Danilo for 12 million. So if we can make a profit on this transaction, and by that what I mean is if we can pay less for Mbabu than we sold Danilo for, that'd be absolutely fantastic, you know, because he's a younger player. He's only a couple of ratings lower in theory. I'm going to offer just a straight-up rounded 10 million and see what they say to that. Done deal. As simple as that. 10 million for Mbabu. That is absolutely fantastic. So as far as right backs go, with 2 million up in profit there, we saw Danilo for 12, would be signing Mbabu for 10. And I genuinely think he could be a really great option going forward. If there's to be any stumbling blocks though, this is always where it's going to happen, in the weekly wage department when you're negotiating directly with the player. You can see he's only currently on 16.5 grand, but I'm sure he's going to want a lot more than that coming to City. For now, they're going to give him rotation. Hopefully he'll be happy with that. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Hopefully in the long term, like I say, he could replace Walker. What are we going to ask for now? Contract length, let's say... How old is he? 23? I mean, 5 years in theory would take him to 28 when you look at it, his prime. So I don't see why we wouldn't offer him a 5-year contract, and he's happy with that. Not interested in a release clause, which is absolutely ideal as well. The wages, I hate it when they don't request like a wage. So I'm hoping... Oh, no, see, sometimes they give you like a rough idea to work around, don't they? I mean, is 30 grand too much? Is that not enough? I don't know what Danilo was on, but I'd wager it was more than 30 grand. And if we then give him like a sign-on fee of 500 grand, I don't know how ridiculous that is, but we're going to offer that. This is where we always come unstuck, to be honest. Let's hope that gets the deal done. Oh, see, insulting. He's no longer interested. We've doubled the wages that he was on before, yet he's still not interested. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to Mbabu. I'm sure we'll be able to negotiate again in the future and try and get that deal done. Here we go then, guys. The final game of today's episode. We're taking on Huddersfield, actually, in the FA Cup, in what should be a pretty tough test of a game when you consider the lineup we've got out. Should still have enough to get through Huddersfield, I feel like, but there's a lot of youth players playing here. Foden, Diaz, Frankie de Jong. We've brought in the likes of Zinchenko at fullback. All the regular players that you'd be used to seeing in these rotated 11s realistically. But hopefully, like I say, we can get the job done in the FA Cup. A competition I do want to go for in, don't get me wrong. So we're not taking this for granted. We need to make sure we get the job done, and I'm sure actually Huddersfield will be playing a much more regular 11. They're playing Lursel in goals, Smith, Schindler, Kongolo and Dome, so that is very much a regular lineup at the back for them. Then looking at Moy in the midfield, of course, on their main players, Ortiz, Pritchard, Kopic. They've got Antonio on the wing, which is an interesting signing, and Mounier. So certainly gone with a very strong 11, but hopefully we can still get the job done here. Oh, it's a great play. Come on, Frankie de Jong back in the middle. It's the one. It's got to be a goal. How has that not gone in? Let's just hit the keeper. Danilo on the ball. I think it's also worth mentioning, this might be the last time that you see a few of these players in a City shirt. Danilo looks like he's on his way out. Company could believe it in this transfer window. So these could very much be final games for those players. But as I'm saying that, we're getting forward. It's Bernardo Silva, certainly a player with a big future. And again, the cross is just about defended by Huddersfield. Finds Jesus. Going to go back to Foden again, who's very much the centre of this move. And it's a lovely ball. Frankie de Jong. Still yet to score a goal for us, and that is why. That is an absolutely shocking miss from Frankie de Jong. Admittedly, he's more of a defensive player, but my word, how has he not put that in? How have we not scored yet in this game? That's a deep one. We should have that. Well played. Can we get a breakaway here? Bernardo Silva. Never really had it under control, did he, Bernardo, there? Not having the best game, it must be said. Very unlike him. Oh my word, Huddersfield have absolutely rattled the post there as well. We need to wake up. We might need to make some subs here, because at the moment, Everything is going Huddersfield's way, as you can see. Great save, Ederson, no! Oh, I can't believe this. We're 1-0 down. This is turning into a horrendous episode. We lost to Southampton, failed in the signing of Mbabu, which I'm sure will get completed next time, and we're failing in this game right now. 1-0 down. We could be going at the FA Cup. I don't want that. We're going to have to make some changes. Finds Bernardo Silva. Come on, what can we do here? Dropping it into the middle. De Bruyne goes across one. We've got to cross another one. It's got to be Jesus. What is going on? This is a joke. David Silva. Finds Bernardo. Nice take. Come on. Play that round the corner. Has to be. De Bruyne. Yes! My God. It's only taken to the 92nd minute to score, but flipping heck, this is turning into a very, very frustrating episode. De Bruyne comes to the rescue to keep our FA Cup hopes alive. Lovely link up with him and Aguero. We have missed so many chances in this game, guys. This should have been dead and buried long ago. Never mind just getting back into it. Is that going to extra time now, or do we play a replay? I can't remember. Extra time? No, we've got a replay in that game now. Ends 1-1. So we've got another fixture added in there that we could have done without. But I'm just glad we're still in the competition, to be honest, because I did not think we were going to score in that game. We're missing so many chances. Well, here's the news that we didn't want to see. We're trying to sell Company on in this window, and it looks like West Ham have come in and offered him a pre-contract, so he could be on his way to West Ham. And do you know what? I quite like the idea of him linking up with Zabaleta over there, so I kind of hope that happens now. With that in mind, we are actually going to go in for Matthias de Ligt to end the episode on. A big, big signing, this one. Really well known in reality and in FIFA career mode, of course, being an absolute gem. He has got a buyout clause for 28 million. Do you know what? Skip negotiations, because that is a bargain for the monster that this guy's going to become. Right, let's try and negotiate, and let's try and do better than we did with the Mbabu. I wouldn't actually mind if he ended up coming, like, at the end of the season rather than January, but I don't think that's really an option, unfortunately. So, to begin with, he's going to be rotation. Let's see what he says to that. I don't know if he's going to be particularly happy with that. Okay, that's fantastic. He's happy with rotation. I mean, by the way, I've just noticed his current wage. 8,600. Flipping heck. Want him for 5 years, obviously. That's what they're after. Fantastic stuff. No release clause, which is fantastic as well. Could we be ending the episode on a high here? Right, he wants 33 grand, 300,000. You know what? Washing my hands of it. It's done. First signing of the January transfer window. The man that is going to replace Vincent Kompany and be a long-term, huge player for us, I would imagine. Matthias de Ligt. Fantastic signing to end the episode on. Don't forget as well, guys, we're going to be going back in for Mbabu to replace Danilo, so that's going to be done and dusted. But you've still got a chance to get in any last-minute recommendations for a backup striker. A lot of people were saying Balotelli, but I've come away from that idea, if I'm being completely honest with you. I know you can see he's not on the list, and I know that's going to upset a few people, but don't think I'm going to be going in for Balotelli. So let me know any last-minute suggestions for your third-choice goalkeepers and your backup goalkeepers and third-choice strikers. I think we are going to go in for Lafont as well, but we're going to be looking at that in the next episode. But that's going to end it off for this one anyway, guys. Very mixed, you know. Great signing in de Ligt. Awful result against Southampton. Scraping the result against Huddersfield, but also a phenomenal win against Liverpool. So we've had a bit of everything in today's episode. Hope you guys did all enjoy it. If you did, as I mentioned at the very start, leave a big thumbs up. Comment your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section down below, and subscribe if you are new. There will not be a gap like there was from the last episode to this one before the next episode. It should be out around the middle of the week. You'll be seeing this one on Monday. I'm hoping that you'll be seeing the next one on Wednesday. But yeah, that's going to end it off, guys. I'll speak to you all next time. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Nidge out.